So last class when this part was off, so we are discussing about this conductivity. Okay, so I hope you have seen this much in the last class. So this n-type semiconductor, it is having the conductivity due to this electrons, and for the p-type semiconductor we are having the conductivity due to the holes. So if we consider that this p-type or n-type, it is also having certain minority charge carriers with them, so this total conductivity will have the contribution from both n and p-type, this electrons or holes charge carrier. Now if we go with this intrinsic semiconductor solely, so for that intrinsic semiconductor the concentration of electrons and holes are equal. So we can write this conductivity of the intrinsic semiconductor as sigma I. This intrinsic carrier concentration same for the holes and the electrons. So we have been putting the sign for that as Ni, and the charge will be same. So Ni is the intrinsic carrier concentration for holes and electrons both, but the mobility is different. Mu n is the mobility of electron and mu p is the mobility of the hole. Okay. So if we have been looking into this expression, and if we are saying that yes, it is a very good n-type semiconductor where the concentration of electron is quite larger than the concentration of hole, that is n is much greater than p, then we can write this n-type semiconductor is having the conductivity only due to the electron concentration n, and if we are saying that it is having quite higher concentration of holes for p-type semiconductor, we can recognize the conductivity only due to the holes on that. Okay. Next is diffusion. So I hope you all know what is this diffusion is. So if there is certain concentration gradient, exists in space, then the particles, or those, for our case these particles are charge carriers, they tends to move from the region of high concentration, they will move from high concentration to low concentration or lower concentration. So due to this concentration gradient, while these charges have been moving from higher to lower concentration area, or certain volume where this higher concentration is maintained and certain volume where this lower concentration is maintained previously. So due to this concentration gradient, the charge carriers tends to move, and due to this movement we supposed to have a certain current, because while we are having the movement of charge carriers, the current will come into picture. So this movement of charge carrier due to this concentration gradient or the diffusion of the charge carriers due to this concentration gradient, it is known as the diffusion current. It will give us the diffusion current. Okay. So this phenomenon of movement of charge carriers or certain particles from high concentration to low concentration, that is known as diffusion, and while this diffusion comes into picture, the movement of charge carrier will contribute to the current, and that current, as it is due to the diffusion, it is known as a diffusion current. Okay. Now if the diffusion with respect to whole charge carriers, this current density on that specimen can be given by if the diffusion exists due to the holes. Diffusion due to holes. For this case, we are considering that this concentration gradient is denoted by dP by dx. Okay. So what is this P? P is the concentration of holes which varies with distance x. P is the concentration of hole which varies with distance x on the specimen. Specimen means that semiconductor specimen. So we can say this is the concentration gradient dP by dx. So if we are having this kind of specimen, let us consider this left hand side, it is having higher concentration and gradually this concentration is decreasing. So what will happen for this area? Initially it is having quite higher concentration of holes. Now due to the movement of charge carriers from high concentration area to the lower concentration area, this charge carrier concentration on this area will get decreased, or whole concentration decrease, because in this way x is been denoted. This is the length of the specimen. So starting from x equals to 0, if we are increasing the value of x, the concentration of charge carrier will decrease. So this concentration gradient will be negative. This concentration gradient will be negative. So if this concentration exists with respect to holes, that is known as hole current density. It is denoted by Jp is equals to minus E dP by dx. So what is this? E is the electronic charge, either it is hole or for this case it is hole. If it is our electron, then that will be the charge. What will be this dP? dP is diffusion constant. Diffusion constant or diffusion coefficient or diffusivity of holes. So in a similar way we can go with the diffusion of electrons. In a similar way we can go with the diffusion of electrons. Now let us consider when an electric field F and concentration gradient dP by dx, this one, exist simultaneously. Let us consider some electric field is also there. Electric field, it is maybe due to certain external excitation. So this electric field will also have certain contribution on the charge carriers, that is on the specimen, and we also have the concentration gradient dP by dx. Okay, and it is acting on the positive x-axis. So the total hole current, if we have been considering, which is due to the certain external field, external electric field plus concentration gradient. Both of these things are been simultaneously applied on the specimen. Means it is having, this specimen is connected with certain external supply, and as well as on the specimen it is having certain concentration gradient. So if we have been looking into this specimen from left side to the right hand side, what will be the total hole current? So that will be the summation of this current due to this external electric field. So what is that? The external electric field, if we are getting certain current due to certain external factor, That is, some current is drifting on the specimen due to certain external factor. So that is known as drift current, and it is due to the external field. So let us consider that external field which we have been considered previously, it is F, and this concentration gradient what we have been considered is dP by dx. So this total whole current density Jp, it will be the drift current plus diffusion current. So for our case, if we have been considering this current, what we have been chosen, the expression of the current previously, that is, this is the thing, sorry, this is the current density. Okay, so N naught was the charge carrier been exist on this specimen. So whatever the thing we have been considered, it is a cylindrical shape of semiconductor. Okay, so the same way we will consider that this drift current, it exists due to the conductivity and the external field. So if it is due to this holes, if it is applied on the holes, so the P is the concentration of the holes, it is having the electronic charge of E, and the mobility is mu P, and these holes are moving due to the external field F. Okay, so this is our current density due to the external field F, which is drift current density, and the concentration gradient which produces the diffusion current, that is E dP by dx. Same way, if we have been going with the electron, total electron current density given by Jn, it is Ne mu n F. Now for this case, if we have been considering this electrons, so if let us consider this is the holes, these are all of them are holes. Okay, so diffusion is going on. So this side it is having higher concentration, this side it is having lower concentration. So these holes are moving in this direction. So the direction of holes itself is the direction of the current. Now if this is the electron concentration, this is the specimen, in another specimen we are having the electrons, and gradually this electron concentration is decreasing. So while this electron will move from higher concentration area to the lower concentration area, the current will move in the opposite direction. So if this is the direction at which these electrons are moving, the current will move in the opposite direction. This is the direction of current, as well as this is the direction of movement of holes. But for the specimen where electrons are the majority carrier, the direction will be opposite. So this diffusion current, that will be in the opposite direction of the movement of charge carrier. So this one will be positive. Okay, so this is the total electron current density or total hole current density in different specimen, either it is p type or either it is n type. Now depending upon this diffusion current, we are having a relation known as Einstein relationship. It relates diffusivity, this either dP or dN, diffusivity and mobility. D and the mobility mu are related by Einstein equation. What is that equation? That is dP by mu p is equals to dN by mu n is equals to small k b by into T by E. So Kb is the Boltzmann constant, T is the absolute temperature, and E is the electronic charge. So what is this Kbt by E? It is known as thermal voltage. And if we have been putting the Boltzmann constant value, that is 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 joule per Kelvin, and this charge 1.6 to 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, then this thermal voltage at room temperature, that is T is equals to 300 K, it comes out as this Vt at room temperature T is equals to 300 K, it is coming out as 0.026 volt. Okay. Now what will be the value of mobility? So if let us consider for this electron mobility, if we have been considering mu n, that is 0.38 meter square per volt second at room temperature, this diffusivity for this electrons coming out as at T is equals to 300 K, taking this 0.026 volt, this dN is coming out as 0.026 into 0.38, it is 0.0099 meter square per second. This is the diffusivity. So from this relation we can take out the value of diffusivity either for the electrons or for the holes at different temperature. That is what the relation gives us the certain measures to find out the diffusivity. Now let us solve some problem. At 300 K, the intrinsic carrier concentration of silicon is 1.5 into 10 to the power 16 per meter cube. If the electron E minus, I am just writing as electron, and the hole mobility are .13 and 0.05 meter square per volt second respectively, determine the intrinsic resistivity of silicon at 300 K. So at first try to go with the problem. What it says, at 300 K, that is at room temperature, the intrinsic carrier concentration is given and the electron and hole mobility is also given. So it asks to determine the intrinsic resistivity. So it is very easy to find out the resistivity once we are having the value of conductivity. Okay, so inverse of conductivity is the resistivity. So first of all we need to find out the conductivity, intrinsic carrier conductivity or intrinsic conductivity. intrinsic conductivity, that is sigma I is equals to charge E into intrinsic carrier concentration plus mobility of electron and mobility of hole. So this intrinsic carrier concentration for the silicon, it is already been given 1.5 into 10 to the power 16 per meter cube. Then this mobility of electron and hole, both of them are also given. Okay, and we know the value of E. So after putting all those things, this conductivity is coming out as, I am just writing the final value of this conductivity, you just do these calculations. It is coming out as 0.432 into 10 to the power minus 3. What is the unit for conductivity? Unit? Anyone? Unit for conductivity? Siemens per meter. So once we are having this conductivity, we can easily find out intrinsic resistivity. It is given by rho I, 1 by sigma I. It is coming out as 2.315 kilo ohm. It is divided by, it was Siemens per meter, so it will go to the numerator, kilo ohm meter. Resistivity. Next problem, find the concentration of donor atoms to be added to an intrinsic germanium sample to produce an n-type material of conductivity (480 Siemens per meter). It is also given the electron mobility of n-type germanium is 0.38 meter square per volt second. So we need to find out the concentration of donor atoms to be added. Concentration of donor atoms to be added to an intrinsic germanium sample. Intrinsic germanium sample to produce an n-type material which should have the conductivity of 480 Siemens per meter. Okay. So the conductivity of n-type material, it should have the 480 Siemens per meter. So what we know for the conductivity of n-type material, that is sigma n, it is free electron concentration n, charge E, and its mobility mu n. Now if we consider or assume that all the donors are ionized, whatever the impurity is already been added, all of them ionized. What does it mean? All the impure atoms which have been added to have this n-type material, they have already donated one free electron in the from the outermost shell. So the concentration of donor atom is equal to the concentration of free electrons. We can consider that, because the donor atom will give us an extra electron, and due to that we are supposed to produce the n-type material. So we can consider whatever the free electron concentration exists on that germanium sample, it is solely due to the donor atoms. Okay, so one donor atom will give one free electron. Okay, so we can consider this n, it is same as the donor concentration Nd. So now we can easily find out this Nd, because we are having this conductivity which is given on the question, this mobility is also given, E we know. So this Nd, it is sigma n by E into mu n. So it is coming out as 7.9 into 10 to the power 21 per meter cube. This is the donor concentration. Clear? Any doubt on this? These are very simple problems. I hope you already been practiced this one, right? Third problem, it is given as at a given temperature prove that a semiconductor has a minimum conductivity of sigma m is equals to twice E n I mu n mu p to the power half. Can anyone prove this? Or any suggestion how we can proceed? Any idea? Okay, no one. So for any given temperature we need to prove that the semiconductor at least having this much of conductivity. So if we go with the conductivity of any semiconductor, if initially if it is an intrinsic one, so it's supposed to have the hole concentration as well as electron concentration. So this sigma is equals to E n mu n plus P mu P. Now we know from the that is this P is equals to Ni square by N. If it is an intrinsic semiconductor which is having both N and P which are equal, then P, the whole concentration or electron concentration, can be written as Ni square by N. Now if we substitute this P over here, then what will be the modification in the conductivity expression? N mu n, P is Ni square by N into mu P. Now to find out the minimum, so what we need to do? We need to take the first derivative, right, and we need to compute with 0. right? So d sigma by dn concentration, so it will coming out as E, it is mu n, then 1 by n, it will be minus 1 by n square mu p. So to have the minimum value, this d sigma by dn should be computed with 0. Okay. So if we compute with 0, then what we'll find? We'll find n is equals to ni mu p by mu n to the power half. Okay. Now if we put this value over here, let us give this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2, it is equation number 3. So if we put the n value from equation 3 into equation 2, putting n in equation 2, what will found? Now this one will be the sigma m, minimum value, that will give us sigma m is equals to same as this value. So if we put this one, it will be ni mu p by mu n to the power half into mu n plus ni square by n. So here also we need to put the value of n, that is ni mu n by mu p to the power half into mu p. Okay. So one ni will get cancelled, we will take out ni outside, then here we can take this one as e, ni common, it is mu p mu n whole to the power half plus, here also it is mu n mu p whole to the power half. So this one, these two will get added, so we are supposed to have twice e ni mu p mu n whole to the power half. Okay, it is same as this one. Clear? Any doubt up to this?
No sir. No sir.
Look, that is the problem. So while I am just doing the class, if anyone wants to enter the class, then okay, I am just giving you some problem, you just try to solve them. Okay. Find number 1 the conductivity and number 2 the resistance of a bar of pure silicon of length 1 centimeter and cross-sectional area 1 mm square at 300 K given mu n is equals to 0.05 meter square per volt second. Ni, intrinsic carrier concentration, it is 1.5 10 to the power 16 per meter cube, and charge E is 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So you need to find out the resistance. So what we know, resistance is rho L by A. So rho is the resistivity. So no need to find the resistivity, you can go with the conductivity. So rho you simply put 1 by sigma. Okay. First problem. Okay, I am just giving you the answer as well. Answer is, for the first one, it is 4.32 into 10 to the power minus 4 Siemens per meter, and for the second part it is resistance is equals to 23.15 mega ohm. Fifth problem, a sample of germanium is doped to the extent of 10 to the power 14 donor atoms per cubic centimeter, and 5 into 10 to the power 13 acceptor atoms per cubic centimeter. At 300 K, the resistivity of intrinsic germanium is 60 ohm centimeter. If the applied electric field is 2 volt per centimeter, find the total conduction current density assume mu p by mu n is 1 by 2 and Ni is 2.5 into 10 to the power 13 per cubic centimeter at 300 K. Okay. So this sample of germanium is doped with both donor as well as acceptor, and the resistivity of germanium is also given. So it says if the applied electric field is 2 volt per centimeter, then find the total conduction current density. Okay, total conduction current density you need to find. So they have been given the ratio of the mobility, that is mu p by mu n is half, and Ni, intrinsic carrier concentration at 300 K, it is also given. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to find out the conductivity, right? Because it asks to find out the conduction current density. Okay, so first of all try to find out the intrinsic conductivity. So Ni is given, right? This mu n by mu p, it is also given. Okay, let me solve this one. It is having little bit trick on this. Intrinsic conductivity, sigma I, it is Ni mu n plus mu p, but the ratio is given mu p by mu n. Okay, so let us take out this mu n. So E n I mu n 1 plus mu p by mu n, this ratio is given. Okay, here the resistivity of germanium is given, resistivity. So how to find out this conductivity? It is the reciprocal of the resistivity, but here this resistivity is given as ohm centimeter. So let us go with the meter. So this conductivity is sigma I, that was 1 by resistivity, that is 1 by 60. So we simply write 100 by resistivity, that is 60, which is Siemens per meter. It is coming out as 5 by 3 Siemens per meter. Ni, it was given as 2.5 into 10 to the power 13 per cubic centimeter. So add, if we have been going with the meter cube, then 6 will get added with this exponent. So it will be 2.5 into 10 to the power 19 per meter cube, and mu p by mu n, it is given as half. So what is that unknown? Unknown is mu n. So let us find out this unknown value mu n. It is sigma I E into Ni 1 plus mu p by mu n. So all those things are known. This value is coming out as 0.2778 meter square per volt second. So once we are having this mu n, we can easily find out mu p. It is mu n by 2, because mu p by mu n is half. So it is coming out as 0.1389 meter square per volt second. Okay, now we need to find out the conduction current density, total conduction current density. Okay, but here the conductivity is also depending upon the acceptors and donor impurity as well. So for the doped sample, that is extrinsic semiconductor, let N be the electron concentration and P be the hole concentration. N is the electron concentration and P is the hole concentration. So we know that if this sample maintaining the electrical neutrality, because it is doped with both donor and acceptor, it is having both donor and acceptor impurity. So total positive charge will be same as the total negative charge. As the sample is electrically neutral, that is Nd, donor impurity, that is it is positive ion. Total donor impurity is equals to the number of free electron, but the donor ions is positive ion. So Nd plus P, P is the whole concentration which is also positive charge, plus Na, Na is the acceptor, that is a negative ion, it is same as the its charge is same as the electron n. Okay. So according to the mass action law, we know that Np is equals to Ni square. According to mass action law, Np is equals to Ni square. So we can replace this P with N. So therefore this P can be written as Nd plus Ni square by N is equals to Na plus N. So from here we can take out the value of N. From this equation we can take out the value of N. So it is coming out as N is equals to half Nd minus Na plus minus root over of Nd minus Na whole square plus 4Ni square. So which sign we should select? Okay, there are two values, one is positive, one is negative. So if we choose negative, so if it is negative before the radical, then that can be imaginary value. So we will select the positive. Negative sign before the radical is rejected. So if we go with this positive sign, N is equals to half Nd minus Na plus root over Nd minus Na whole square plus 4Ni square. Now Nd is given, Na is given, Ni we know. So we can easily find out the value of N. Once we are having the value of N, we can find out the value of P from the mass action law. So this is how we can able to find out the electron concentration and hole concentration. So from this, if we find out this N, it is coming out as 6.036 into 10 to the power 19 per meter cube. And if we use this value in the mass action law, this P is coming out as P is equals to Ni square by N. It is coming out as 1.035 into 10 to the power 19 per meter cube. So once we are having this N and P, we simply find out the conductivity of the doped sample. That is sigma is equals to E n mu n plus P mu P. It is coming out as, by putting all the value, 2.9 Siemens per meter. Now we are having the conductivity, we need to find out the current density. Okay.
Not visual, sir.
Now
So need to be.
how it is visible?
The page is visual, but
Sigma is E n mu n plus P mu P. Now it is visible. I cannot move the camera, that is the main problem. Now it is visible. Now once we are having this conductivity, we need to go with the current density, that is J is equals to sigma into F. So our F was given as 2 volt per centimeter. So that will be 200 volt per meter. So J, it is sigma into F. Sigma is 2.9 and F is 200. That is 580 ampere per meter square. Or we can also write 0.058 ampere per centimeter square. Clear? Clear? In the same way, you just go with another problem. Just try to solve this one. I am just writing the problem. Germanium has an intrinsic concentration of 2.5 into 10 to the power 19 per meter cube at 300 K. It is doped with five into 10 to the power 19 arsenic atoms per meter cube. Assume that all the arsenic atoms are ionized. If the electron and the hole mobility are 0.38 and 0.18 meter square per volt second respectively, determine the conductivity of doped germanium. Okay, so somewhat the same what we did. You try to go with this and try to find out the answer. So the answer is coming out as the conductivity. It is sigma is equals to, for the doped sample it is 3.966 Siemens per meter. Clear?